Okay, guys, I hope this works. I'm gonna hold these kind of close so that I make sure the audio records. I am at the airport. I'm super excited. I'm flying to Newport, California. Jason is already there. I'm meeting him there. We have a conference, and I haven't even really shared this in here yet, but I am going there to present on Stemnonic. I get to do the opening for the whole conference with a few of my girlfriends, which will be really fun. And then I'm on a panel for ketosis, I'm on a panel for detox, and for fasting. So super excited. And before I jump into a few of the take-home points from the book study, the whole point of this group, of the Stemnonic group, is to teach you guys adaptation and to help you become the best version of yourself, even when life gets in the way. And so I also want to share with you guys kind of my journey this weekend. I think a lot of people, probably people who don't travel often, think it's really glamorous to travel, to get away. Our trips are not glamorous. They're definitely fun. They're definitely fun. And they are exhausting. So I've been up since 4. I will be up until 11 o'clock California time, which is 2 o'clock in the morning here. I try to stay on East Coast time as much as possible there, which means I'm usually up at about 4:40 our time, which is super early California time. So I'm really burning the candle both ends. It's nonstop. I will land, we'll go right into helping with our vendor booth, getting on stage, all this stuff. So it's going to be cray cray. And yesterday was a super busy day in the office, super fun. Got a phone call from the nurse. One of our kids had lice, and part of our house flooded. So lots going on. It's life. And what I have found is that the more of these biohacks I incorporate, the better off I can handle these things. And so in this video, I want to share with you some of my favorite take-home free biohacks from the second section of the book. And also, I'm going to share with you guys while we're traveling as much as I can, kind of like the bad, the good, and how I balance stuff. I might actually put some of it on the general Dr. Saunders page. So just make sure you're following the Stemnonic group and that. And I will be on this trip until Saturday. I take the red eye home Saturday night. Okay, so a couple of things that Dave talks about in section 2 are your brain on light, on sleep, on colds. A lot of the things that he talks about are balancing our exposure to junk light, right? So I talk a lot lately about blue light blockers and about red light. Red light we are intended to get from the sun. It isn't something that we should have to incorporate as a therapeutic tool. However, because of our lack of exposure from not being outside much these days and being overexposed to blue light or junk light, like here in the airport, it's everywhere. Fluorescent lighting is blue light, junk light. My phone is giving me off blue light. I'm going to hook into internet on the plane ride. That's all blue light. So blue light blockers are amazing. I've shared with you guys some of the glasses ones that I like. I have those packed. I'll be wearing those on the plane. But something you can do that's absolutely free that I love is you can, on every phone, you can install a blue light filter. So on an Android, I just swipe down and it's right in one of my settings, and you can adjust how much your light is filtered by going like this. On the iPhone, I think it might be a setting, it might be an app. But if you just do a quick Google, you can find it. You can set your blue light filter to a timer. So you can have your phone block blue light from 8 p.m. until 8 a.m., which is definitely something I would suggest at minimum. You are not designed to see anything except for red light once the sun goes down and until the sun comes up. So definitely once it's dark, you should not see any blue light. And now that it's winter, obviously that happens earlier. I actually leave my blue light blocker on all the time. Anytime if I grab someone's phone and they don't have it, I'm blinded. Our kids' devices also always have blue light blocker. Blue light stops us from producing melatonin. So it's really important to block blue light so that you can start to make melatonin so you can set yourself up for sleep. So one other thing that you can do that's free in regards to blue light, red light is remember our eyes contain some of the most mitochondria in our body. This whole book study is about supercharging your mitochondria. Exposing your mitochondria to sunlight is actually really healthy. And I know a lot of us, myself included, love sunglasses. But now that I know that, I do make an effort if I'm out in the beautiful New Jersey sun, which New Jersey is a very sunny state, in my opinion, coming from the Midwest. I do spend some time without my sunglasses on to give my mitochondria in my eyes exposure to that healthy full spectrum light. Okay, so that one. There was something else I was going to say about that. I forget. Oh, okay. Sleep. Okay, so I am a previous 8-hour a night girl. I always needed 8 hours or I would like get sick and really run down really quickly. What I've learned through hacking, it's not so much about the quantity, it's about the quality. And so now, not ideal, but if I get 5 or 6 hours of sleep every now and then, I can be totally fine. And so there's a few things that we can do to enhance our sleep quality. It's part of why I have the Oura Ring. Like, I literally play around with these things. I measure them. I get like updates on here, like how was my deep sleep? What did I do? Like if I do a sauna, how did that impact my deep sleep, my REM sleep? Those are the two things I watch a lot, as well as my resting heart rate and my HRV. And so you guys don't need to do this. It's just something I do so that I can teach these methods. I do love the Oura Ring. It gives you a ton of information, but a couple of things that you can do to set yourself up for good quality sleep are watching your blue light exposure, right? So like making sure, like Dave calls it, setting up your sleep cave. So having really dark, nice room. I like it a little bit chilly. Most people sleep well like that. The other thing is meditation. That's something I've done at night that definitely impacts my sleep quality. One of my favorite things for meditation is on YouTube. I just search like guided meditation for sleep. I love Joe Dispenza, Dispenza. His meditations have been awesome. I do them a lot in the morning. Some of them are more of like a teaching, and some of them are like very calming. So like Levi listens to them with me sometimes. Be like, I don't want the one with all the talking. I want the one that's kind of calm. So that's free. Obviously, he's amazing. I love his stuff. Part of what happens when we sleep, most people know about a lymphatic system in our body. So our lymphatic system is what helps clear out all our toxins. Well, what we now know is there's something in the brain called the glymphatic system. This is only active at night, and it's mostly active when we have deep sleep or REM sleep. The healthier our mitochondria, the better glymphatic system health we have, the more effective it is. And one of the things that happens during our sleep is this glymphatic system, basically like our brain waves shut down, they get really, really low, and it cleans out all our cellular debris and toxins in our brain. And so that's why sometimes, like if you don't get a lot of sleep, you'll feel fuzzy, you'll crave sugars, things like that. So tapping into this glymphatic system is so important. The two things we can do to make it more efficient are have super healthy mitochondria, which you guys are all working on through all the things that you're doing, and through setting up yourself for really good quality sleep. There's also something that happens during night when we tap into that glymphatic system called mitophagy. So you all know autophagy. That's our body's cells cleaning out, right? So like when we fast, we tap into autophagy and our body kills off our sick, toxic cells. The same thing happens with our mitochondria. And so when we do these certain hacks, biohacks, which Dave calls them, that help our mitochondria, we're tapping into something called mitophagy. And so you're killing off the weak mitochondria and then making more healthy new mitochondria. Remember, mitochondria are the powerhouses of our cells, and they're essentially what gives us energy. They do a ton of other stuff, but that's the big thing. Last, something really big you can do to stimulate mitophagy, this is something I definitely do when I travel, is something called a HIIT workout, high intensity interval training. So what I love about HIIT workouts is they're super short. You can do them anywhere. So I usually do them in the hotel or in a hotel gym. They supercharge your mitochondria. They help burn fat. They increase your growth hormone. They help you decrease inflammation. They help you create a brain chemical called BDNF, which is an amazing chemical for your brain. And so here's what you do for a HIIT workout. You basically take a short amount of time. It can be anywhere under 30 minutes. I usually do about 15. And you want to do high intensity and then low intensity. So I usually do like a 60-second high intensity, 90-second low intensity. You can do like burpees or running in place, sprinting. You want to go hard, hard, hard for this high intensity time, for this minute. You can do, what else can you do? You could do like jumping air squats. You could do rowing. Those are typically my favorites. And then for the low intensity, you can literally just like sit and catch your breath. You can kind of walk in place to catch your breath. But my favorite is 90 seconds on, 60 seconds on, 90 seconds off, or like somewhere around there. Those are awesome. And then lastly, another free thing you can do that's so good for your mitochondria, that promotes mitophagy, is cold exposure to cold. So one of the best things you can do, one of the easiest ways to access this, is every time you take a shower, for the last 30 seconds of your shower, put it on as cold as it can go for 30 seconds. You want to really hit your face and your chest. That is the place that's most sensitive to the thermogenesis therapeutic benefits. So 30 seconds, cold, cold, cold water here. That's going to also increase BDNF, a brain chemical. It's going to supercharge your mitochondria. It's going to help you burn fat. It's going to decrease inflammation. It's going to increase growth hormone, which is like an anti-aging hormone, a very good natural hormone that we can produce. So those are my favorite take-home biohacks from section 2. I can talk about some other stuff during the trip. Like I said, I'm going to share some of the things I do. When we travel now, once or twice a month, literally the whole time I'm thinking about what can I do to balance what I'm doing to my body, right? So how can I balance these short nights, the potential jet lag, which I don't really get anymore. How can I feel good during my whole trip, and then how can I drop back in and go right back into being a parent or work and not feel like I have to have a day of recovery. So again, I'll share some of the stuff in the Stemnomic page. I'm going to share some of it in the general Dr. Saunders page as well, so be sure to follow both. Hope you guys are loving the book. These things are absolutely life-changing, so I would love to know, what one thing are you going to incorporate this week. Have a good one.